Welcome back, Rangers, to the first episode of NWTV7 this new semester. I'm Dax Benway. Last week, Northwestern hosted a blood drive on campus. Reporters Josh Hinton and Benjamin Cleaver covered the story.
It's another day at Northwestern, and we are inside the Student Center where we get coffee, snacks, and books. But today is about more than that. It is about giving back and helping others by donating blood. Chelsea Thomas, recruiter for the Oklahoma Blood Institute in the Northwest Oklahoma Territories, tells us where the donated blood goes.
All of our blood supply goes to over 160 hospitals throughout the state of Oklahoma.
And who benefits from the donations?
That blood goes to babies, cancer patients, burn patients. Our ambulances have our blood supply on there.
In fact, OBI supply 90% of the hospitals in Oklahoma. But currently, that supply is running low. To help with the shortage, Northwestern hosted the Oklahoma Blood Institute on September 14th and 15th in the Student Center's second floor ballroom. We caught up with Northwestern student Kelsey Swindle and asked why they decided to donate.
I saw on all of Northwestern social media that we're having a blood drive today. And I was also reading about how the OSBI needed blood donations, so I figured I'd just do my part and donate blood.
If interested in donating, all that's needed is a driver's license or any form of picture ID. Be sure to eat before coming in and make sure to drink plenty of fluids throughout the day. To volunteer or donate, call or visit the OBI office in Enid. This is Joshua Hinton, and stay frosty, Alva.
Is under new renovations. Jared Reeder and Ethan Everson have more on the story.
The Alva Golf and Country Club is in the process of improving their grounds. They are also working on their menu options. I talked with Jennifer Taylor, the manager of the Country Club, about their improvements they are making.
We are renovating this back room. We are redoing the floors and the walls to make it a nicer eating room.
NWTV7 reporter Ethan Everson has more benefits about the club.
Not only did they do new renovations for the clubhouse, they're actually the only pool that is open in the whole city of Alva.
Mostly just golf tournaments. We do about 2 a month. We do some glow-in-the-dark golf.
A longtime member of the course tells us about his experience.
My name's Bill Beeler, and I have been a member about 58 years, and I like coming here, and I love playing golf. It just trips my trigger every time I get a play. So it's one of the sports that you could do your whole life. Doesn't matter how old you are. I've had friends that are still playing in their 90s. So it's a sport that anybody can do forever.
The changes the course is making will allow them to continue to prosper the community. This is NWTV7 reporter Jared Reeder signing off.
Last week, SGA hosted a concert by Oklahoma native Autumn Raglan and the Raglan Band. Reporters Jordan Grant and Caitlin Hoffman followed the concert.
A year ago, the university's intramural field would have looked like this.
We're gonna play some music and have a good time and eat some tacos. I think that's the plan.
The raglan band performed at Northwestern for a crowd of almost 100 students that night.
I like to just have real chill vibes and just, I'm very wordy. I like to just tell stories.
Raglan, an Oklahoma native, said she writes songs about experiences that have shaped her life.
You know, we like to do real instruments, so it's not really pop at all, just really Americana country music.
She creates new material often.
I try to just keep it exciting with just like new covers that I like to do.
The University Student Government Association hosted the event.
We all missed concerts due to the pandemic and everything, and it seemed like something that everyone would want to do. It seemed something different that we haven't done before, so we did it, and now it's here.
Maxwell said the organization may conduct more events like this in the future.
Honestly, we're going to see the attendance and how well it goes over tonight and everything. And if it goes over well, yeah, we'd definitely stay on our radar and keep trying to bring people like this here.
Students who attended the event said they were excited to get back into the groove of things.
It feels amazing, really. It just feels unreal to just be even out here without a mask. You know, I thought we were going to have a mask on for a while, so it's really amazing just to not have them again and just be able to enjoy being social and interactive without the masks and do everything like we did before.
They didn't just listen to music. They played cornhole and kickball, and they ate Mexican food from a taco truck.
You never really know what the turnout is going to be, but we try to vibe with, like, you know, any of the crowds that we have, even if just a few people show up. People like these songs, and so that's why I play them.
Even though the field would have been empty a year ago, tonight it's full of fun. For NWTV7, I'm Jordan Green.
The Ranger soccer team is off to a strong start with a 5-1 record on the season. Cade Cunningham and Kaylee Neely have more on the story.
The Northwestern soccer team was winless last year, but this September things are a whole lot different.
This year's team is different than last year's team because we're more interconnected and more like a family, and right now we're focusing on playing with each other, like playing for each other, and instead of trying to do the individual performances.
All around the Rangers soccer program, the one word that gets mentioned is improvement.
Our team has shown a lot of improvement since our first game. You know, our first game we unfortunately lost 0-3, and since then we've scored a lot of goals, and it's something we've been working really hard on. And we put up 5. Our last game 4 in the game before, so it's been a really good team effort, and we've seen growth throughout our team from returners and from incomers. We've had some awesome assists from some of our midfielders and wide attackers, so it's we've done a good job scoring goals.
But the offense is not the only reason why the Rangers are winning.
In our defense, Reagan Allen in goal. Caitlin Bedart has been named Conference Defensive Player of the Week, but our team defending's been really well.
The Rangers are ranked 9th in the Central Region rankings and off to their best start since 2005. The only team left on the non-conference part of the schedule is Oklahoma Christian.
Oklahoma Christian, it's our last non-conference game. It's going to be a tough test for us here at home, and it's going to really be important for us to come out and play well, and because it's going to kind of set the tone going into conference play.
And setting the tone is exactly what the Rangers did, as they defeated Oklahoma Christian by a score of 2-1. The Rangers will be back in action, however, on September 28th, when they take on Southwestern at the Rangers soccer field for the beginning of GAC play. For NWTV7, I'm Cade Kennedy.
Welcome back, Rangers. I'm Dax Benway here with Cade Cunningham, and here to talk about Ranger sports.
All right, well, I think the first sport I want to get into today is football. Now, of course, we're winless on the year, 0-3, but still showing signs of improvement. I think that's the most important team is for any team, really, is once you get started on the year, we're seeing improvement week by week. Now, last week going to Shawnee, taking on Oklahoma Baptist, a 56-42 loss, but it still looked good. Tanner Clarkson being able to throw for over 400 yards, the run game looking impressive, 3 rushing touchdowns on the year, and the offense just looks so much better. I talked to Coach Walter yesterday. He said he wanted to simplify the offense, get some things, easy to understand, and I think it paid off well. The defense, I think, also improved a little bit. You look at giving up 55 to Henderson State and then 56 to Oklahoma Baptist, and most people will look at that and say there's no improvement there. We gave up another point. We got worse. But as long as you're getting experience for those young guys especially.
Very young defense.
Exactly, very young defense. As long as you're getting those guys playing time and experience, they will improve. And I think we'll see a lot of improvement this week. We've got Family Day weekend here at Ranger Field. It's going to be great. If you're here, come on up. Bring your family. That's why it's called Family Day.
Yep.
I mean,
playing East Central.
Yes,
Tigers.
playing East Central, the Tigers. We've won the last 4 games against East Central. This is a game that Northwestern's always very competitive in. Anytime you get any 2 Oklahoma schools together, it's going to be a very fun, competitive game. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Couldn't agree more. It's going to be a fun time. Now let's talk about that Ranger soccer team.
Yeah, that was definitely a fun story to do, but the soccer team on the year 5-1. I just want to reiterate, this is the
hottest start since 2004.
Yeah, yes, the last time we were this good, it was 2004. I was 2 years old. You know, this feels like such a long time ago, and to see the soccer team back to where it should be, in my opinion, just as a very good team to watch and a very fun team to watch too. A very stout defensive team. They're going to score. They're going to defend. They're going to play very well. We've got the GAC opener coming up September 28th against Southwestern. Always a big rivalry. It's going to be here in Alva.
Yep,
so
pack
just
the house.
Exactly. Come on down to the ARC, get that game riled up. I mean, I want to see a lot of people there personally. I know Coach Pekarski wants to see a lot of people there. We all want to see a lot of people there.
Yep, I agree. What about men's and women's cross country going up to Newton?
Exactly. I mean, you got the Bethel College invitation. We get second up there. I mean, it was just very
women's actually coming in first.
Yeah, the women coming in first. I mean, just so many good things happening in that program, and that's still a young program too. So to see everything going on there and just the improvement we've been able to see year by year, we're really starting to build a lot of solid programs up around campus. I think that's something people need to take notice of.
Yep, I agree. And Ranger volleyball.
Now, Ranger volleyball's off to a bit of a slow start to the year, only 1-10. Actually taking on Southern Nazarene September 21st, which would be this evening in Bethany, so that'll be very entertaining to see how they do in that game. It's usually always a competitive matchup there.
Oklahoma Baptist, very sound team.
Oklahoma Baptist will be on the radar. That is going to be the 24th of September. This will be actually here at the pit, so it'll be fun to see. Oklahoma Baptist is actually ranked number 18 in the country. They started preseason number 9, and last year they were actually the number 1 team in the country before we went into the postseason tournaments. They declined to play in the tournament, which I found very odd. But this is a team that, in my opinion, could have easily been the national champion last year and returned a lot. So it'll be very interesting to see how the Rangers do in that game.
All right. Thanks, Cade.
No problem.
I'm here with Jordan Green. We're going to talk a little Northwestern newspaper. What do you got for us, Jordan?
Well, hey, thanks for having us on today. So I'm the editor-in-chief of the Northwestern News. We're the official student newspaper here on campus. We've got 4 issues behind us already this semester, and we're really, really proud of the work that we've done so far. One of the things that I'd like to highlight first of all is the story that we covered on some of the new gaming systems that Northwestern is getting for dorm residents. So last week in our September 16th issue, we reported that Northwestern is spending about $65,000 getting new gaming systems for residents in South Hall, Coronado Hall, Aumont, and Fryer. These are going to be some dual player games like Mario Kart and some sporting related games as well.
It's really good.
It is. It's really interesting for students. The funding for these games comes from some leftover infrastructure project money that the university had last year that upgraded Wi-Fi systems in our dorms. And some students would argue that this is a good way to put the money to use. We're going to be seeing these games rolled out throughout the semester. Some have already arrived on campus, and there will be more coming here in the near future. So we've got that coming, and in our September 16th paper, that was just one of the many fine stories that we had. I'm incredibly proud of the work that our team has done this year. We've got some really talented news reporters who are taking our news reporting class with Dr. Kayleen Armstrong. They've come in and hit the ground running this semester. They've really taken off and done some great writing and reporting. I'm incredibly proud of their work, and as always, I am so proud and so honored to be a part of this great team that we have. We've got some great editors on staff this semester. You just talked with Cade Kennedy, who's our sports editor. He's been hitting the ground running with everything Northwestern sports. Connor Gray, our assistant editor, has also been helping out on the sports beat, and he's been making sure that our copy is nice and clean. Devin Lansden, our editorial editor, has been offering us some great colorful opinions, and Caitlin Hofen, our featured entertainment editor, has been telling the stories that really matter here at Northwestern. So we've been showcasing a lot of photography of campus events that have been going on. The Bob Ross night that the Student Government Association hosted a couple of weeks ago, we covered just about every inch of that with the camera, as we have done other events. Another thing I'd really like to highlight today is how we covered the 20th anniversary of the 9/11 terrorist attacks. This was, of course, an event that shocked our nation and reverberated across all parts of the country, including here in the Heartland, and we found it appropriate to look back on how Northwestern and the Alva community responded to those attacks. We talked about specifically a monument that we have here on campus that class officers from the 2006 graduating class put up to pay respect to the people who lost their lives during these attacks, and also to the first responders and other volunteers who went to New York and aided victims. This monument is in a green space on the northwest corner of campus, and for some reason not a lot of people seem to know it's there. We've gotten a lot of response from people going, "Oh, I didn't even know that we had such a monument on campus." And we do. It's a beautiful monument, and I'd encourage everybody to check it out. We told the story of how that monument came to be. We also reflected on how local newspapers actually covered the attacks at the time, and we've also done a great job of compiling the stories of university faculty and staff members who were alive during that time. We've tried to capture the emotion of how they were feeling when they were watching the Twin Towers fall on live TV. Most students here at Northwestern were not alive or were too young to remember the attacks.
I was 1 year old.
Yeah, and I was 1.5 at the time, and luckily I'm not able to remember that, but it is incredibly important for us to remember and to understand why the world we live in today is still impacted by the events of that day. And that's what we've tried to do here at the News. We've really tried to contextualize what happened then and relate it to how it affects us today. So those are a couple of the things that I'm the most proud of our team and our teamwork so far.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys got a great staff, great crew over there, and we're looking for great more content for the Northwestern newspaper.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thank you.
Oh, and weekly weather report for the Woods County. Today, Tuesday, we got a high of 78 and a low of 50 degrees with 17-mile wind gust. And just averages for the week, looking at 85 to 80 miles for the highs and 57 to 55 for the lows this week. That's all from NWTV7. I'm Dax Benway. We'll see you next time way down in the valley.